The idea of a canal cutting through Central America dates back centuries. The Spanish first considered it in the 1500s, but the technology didn't exist to make it happen. Instead, explorers and traders had to endure long and treacherous journeys around South America's Cape Horn or rely on dangerous land crossings through Panama. The concept of a waterway remained a dream until the 19th century, when the world was transformed by industrialization and engineering advancements. In the late 1800s, the French took the first serious step toward making the canal a reality. The project was led by Ferdinand de Lesseps, the engineer behind the successful Suez Canal in Egypt. Encouraged by his triumph, he believed that another waterway, this time in Panama, would be just as feasible. However, there was a major difference between the deserts of Egypt and the jungles of Central America. The climate was unforgiving, the terrain was mountainous, and the region was a breeding ground for deadly diseases like yellow fever and malaria. The French underestimated these challenges. They began excavation in 1881, but progress was slow. Rainfall caused frequent landslides that filled trenches with mud, undoing months of labor. Worse, mosquitoes spread disease through the workforce. Medical knowledge at the time was limited, and the connection between mosquitoes and disease was not fully understood. As a result, workers lived in poor conditions, with stagnant water and little protection. Over the course of the project, more than 20,000 workers died. By 1889, the French were forced to abandon the canal. They had spent nearly $300 million, and their dreams of success had turned into a nightmare of failure. Despite the failure of the French, the strategic importance of a canal remained clear. The United States, in particular, saw the potential for both economic and military benefits. With a canal, American ships could travel between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in a fraction of the time it took to go around South America. President Theodore Roosevelt took a keen interest in reviving the project. But first, the United States had to secure the land. At the time, Panama was part of Colombia. The United States negotiated with the Colombian government to gain rights to build the canal, but talks stalled. Frustrated by Colombia's refusal, the United States backed a Panamanian independence movement. In November of 1903, Panama declared independence from Colombia, and the United States quickly recognized the new nation. Soon after, Panama signed a treaty granting the United States control over a 10-mile wide strip of land known as the Panama Canal Zone. Construction resumed in 1904, but this time with new leadership and strategies to overcome past failures. One of the first priorities was controlling disease. William Gorgas, a military physician, implemented a massive mosquito eradication program. Swamps were drained, fumigation efforts began, and mosquito breeding grounds were eliminated. These efforts dramatically reduced cases of yellow fever and malaria, making it possible for workers to continue construction safely. Another major challenge was the design of the canal itself. The French had attempted a sea-level canal, but American engineers determined that a system of locks would be more effective. Instead of digging all the way down to sea level, ships would be raised and lowered through a series of locks, allowing them to pass over the uneven terrain of Panama. The most difficult section to construct was the Culebra Cut, a 9-mile stretch where workers had to carve through rock and soil to create a navigable channel. Landslides were a constant threat, and workers labored around the clock with dynamite and steam shovels to widen the passage. Thousands of Caribbean laborers, many from Barbados and Jamaica, worked tirelessly in the sweltering heat. As the canal neared completion, the scale of the achievement became clear. On August 15, 1914, the SS Ancon made the first official transit through the canal. The event marked the beginning of a new era in global trade. A journey that once took weeks could now be completed in just hours. For the United States, the canal was a major victory, both strategically and economically. It allowed the United States Navy to move ships quickly between oceans, strengthening its military presence. It also boosted trade, making it easier and cheaper to transport goods across the world. The canal remained under American control for nearly a century, but its presence in Panama was not without controversy. Many Panamanians resented foreign control over their land. Tensions grew over the decades, leading to protests and demands for sovereignty. In 1977, United States President Jimmy Carter signed a treaty agreeing to transfer control of the canal to Panama. On December 31, 1999, the handover was completed, and Panama officially took ownership of the canal. Since then, the Panamanian government has managed and expanded the waterway, increasing its capacity to accommodate larger ships. Today, the canal is an essential part of global trade. More than 14,000 ships pass through it each year, carrying goods worth billions of dollars. In 2016, an expansion project was completed, allowing even bigger vessels to use the canal. The waterway continues to shape the world economy, just as it did over a century ago. The story of the Panama Canal is one of vision, struggle, and perseverance. It stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the determination to overcome the most daunting challenges. As ships continue to pass through its locks, the legacy of those who built it lives on. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, help us keep uncovering more amazing stories. Hit the like button and subscribe for more.